There is a strange loneliness that comes with seeing patterns other people do not notice. It is not arrogance, it is not superiority. It is simply the quiet experience of processing reality at a different depth and speed. Highly intelligent people are often admired from the outside. They are called gifted, insightful, advanced, sharp. But what is rarely discussed are the invisible costs of high intelligence. Intelligence expands perception, but expanded perception carries weight. The same mind that solves complex problems can also overanalyze simple interactions. The same awareness that detects opportunity can also detect risk everywhere. Intelligence does not create an easier life. It often creates a more complicated internal one. The first struggle highly intelligent people face is overthinking. A highly analytical brain does not shut off easily. It evaluates multiple angles automatically. Every decision branches into scenarios. Every conversation is replayed afterward. Every possibility is examined for hidden variables. This constant mental simulation is useful in strategic environments, but exhausting in everyday life. While others move on quickly, the intelligent mind continues processing. It searches for deeper meaning, alternative interpretations, subtle inconsistencies. Over time, this can create paralysis. When you see too many options, choosing one feels risky. When you can imagine 10 possible outcomes, certainty disappears. Intelligence amplifies cognitive load. The second struggle is social disconnection. Highly intelligent individuals often think abstractly, conceptually, and metaphorically. They enjoy exploring ideas that go beyond surface-level conversation. But many social environments revolve around small talk, routine topics, and shared familiarity rather than exploration. This creates friction. The intelligent person may feel bored or misunderstood. Not because they believe others are incapable, but because depth is not always reciprocated. Conversations feel truncated, nuance feels lost. Over time, this can create withdrawal. The person stops sharing complex thoughts because explaining them feels laborious or alienating. They learn to simplify themselves socially, but self-simplification can feel like self-erasure. The third struggle is heightened self-awareness. Intelligence increases metacognition, the ability to think about thinking. While this enhances learning and reflection, it also magnifies self-criticism. You do not just experience failure. You analyze why you failed, how you failed, and what it implies about your competence. You do not just feel embarrassment, you dissect it. This hyper-awareness can create internal pressure. Standards become high, mistakes become magnified. You are rarely satisfied because you see the gap between potential and performance clearly. Others may praise you, but you see what could have been better. The fourth struggle is existential anxiety. When your mind naturally questions assumptions, it does not stop at daily logistics. It questions meaning, mortality, ethics, systems, society. You may think deeply about purpose while others are content with routine. You may notice contradictions in institutions, flaws in leadership, and structural inefficiencies. Seeing systemic problems without the power to change them can create frustration. Intelligence exposes complexity. Complexity disrupts comfort. The fifth struggle is difficulty finding intellectual peers. While intelligence exists on a spectrum, highly intelligent individuals often crave mental stimulation at a certain level. Without it, they feel underengaged. But finding people who match both intellectual curiosity and emotional maturity can be rare. This mismatch does not mean isolation is inevitable, but it does mean compatibility requires intentional environments. In the absence of that, loneliness intensifies. It is possible to be surrounded by people and still feel mentally alone. The sixth struggle is emotional intensity. Contrary to stereotype, high intelligence does not mean emotional detachment. In many cases, it amplifies emotional sensitivity. When you perceive nuance in situations, you feel nuance in emotion. You anticipate outcomes quickly. You detect micro-expressions. You sense subtle shifts in tone. This can make you more empathetic, but also more reactive internally. Your mind does not just register events, it extrapolates them. Emotional experiences become layered and complex. Without strong regulation skills, this intensity can overwhelm. The seventh struggle is boredom intolerance. When your processing speed is high, routine tasks feel draining. Repetition without novelty feels suffocating. Many highly intelligent individuals struggle in environments that demand compliance over creativity. They may appear restless, unfocused, or unmotivated when in reality they are understimulated. Understimulation can resemble apathy, but it is often cognitive starvation. When the mind is not challenged, it disengages. The eighth struggle is imposter syndrome. Intelligence often brings awareness of how much you do not know. The more you learn, the more gaps you see. This awareness can undermine confidence. Others may see competence, you see incompleteness. You compare yourself to idealized standards. Because you understand complexity, you know how fragile expertise can be. This makes claiming authority uncomfortable. You may downplay achievements because you understand the randomness of opportunity and the limitations of your knowledge. These struggles intersect. Overthinking fuels self-criticism. Social disconnection fuels loneliness. Existential awareness fuels anxiety. Emotional intensity fuels exhaustion. None of these struggles negate the advantages of intelligence, but they complicate them. Intelligence is a tool. Tools require management. Without balance, intelligence turns inward destructively. It becomes rumination instead of insight, isolation instead of discernment, perfectionism instead of excellence. There is also the burden of expectation. When others label you as highly intelligent early in life, it shapes identity. You may feel pressure to excel consistently. Mistakes feel inconsistent with your reputation. Praise for being smart can shift focus away from effort and resilience. When challenges finally arise that require struggle, you may interpret struggle as failure rather than growth. Intelligence without emotional development can create fragility. Another hidden challenge is difficulty relaxing. A fast-processing brain often resists idle states. Silence invites thought loops. Downtime becomes analysis time. Rest requires intentional slowing, which can feel unnatural. This contributes to burnout. Highly intelligent individuals may exhaust themselves internally even in physically calm environments. They may appear composed externally while experiencing constant mental churn. There is also the struggle of being misunderstood. Directness may be perceived as arrogance. Curiosity may be misread as criticism. Depth may be interpreted as intensity. If your natural communication style differs from the majority, friction arises. You may learn to mask parts of yourself to maintain harmony. Masking consumes energy. It also creates internal division between authentic thought and expressed thought. Intelligence also sharpens pattern recognition in relationships. You may detect inconsistencies early. You may foresee relational outcomes before they unfold. This foresight can create impatience or detachment. If you predict the end of something, you may emotionally exit early to protect yourself. But predictive thinking can become self-fulfilling if it replaces vulnerability. Intelligence sometimes prioritizes accuracy over openness. Another subtle struggle is dissatisfaction. When you can imagine better systems, better conversations, better solutions, current reality can feel underwhelming. You notice inefficiencies others tolerate. This constant comparison between what is and what could be can erode contentment. Gratitude requires presence. Intelligence often pulls attention toward possibility. None of these struggles mean intelligence is a curse. They mean it is powerful. Power without regulation creates imbalance. The solution is not to dull intelligence, but to integrate it. Overthinking softens when paired with action. Social disconnection lessens when intellectual curiosity is balanced with empathy. Self-criticism weakens when growth replaces perfection. Existential anxiety stabilizes when meaning is self-defined rather than externally discovered. Emotional intensity becomes strength when channeled into creativity or service. Boredom dissolves when challenge is intentionally sought. Imposter syndrome shrinks when competence is acknowledged without demanding omniscience. Highly intelligent individuals thrive when they find environments that match their cognitive depth and emotional safety. They flourish when they stop trying to compress themselves for comfort. They stabilize when they understand that intelligence is not identity, it is capacity. Capacity can be directed outward constructively or inward destructively. The difference lies in awareness and discipline. The paradox of high intelligence is this: the same mind that can design complex solutions can also construct elaborate fears. The same brain that detects nuance can invent doubt. Mastery comes not from reducing intelligence, but from managing it. When you recognize these 8 struggles, you stop pathologizing yourself. You understand that your mind is not broken. It is active, it is sensitive, it is fast. The task is not to slow it permanently. It is to give it direction. Intelligence becomes a gift when it is grounded. When insight is paired with humility, when awareness is paired with compassion, when analysis is balanced with action, highly intelligent people do not suffer because they are intelligent. They suffer when their intelligence turns against them. And when they learn to guide it rather than be ruled by it, the struggles transform into strengths.